Turner's palette cleaner is a very new and unique product that we brought in that does exactly what it says it does. It cleans palettes, specifically plastic, porcelain, metal palettes. Now, if you're a watercolor artist, you're no stranger to these types of stains, okay? This palette has been scrubbed and washed, but it still has a little markings, and this is actually a little bit fainter than some of your palettes out there might be. I even used a staining pigment like alizarin crimson to do this little demonstration. The thing is, some people want to keep their palettes looking like new. Like, you know, I personally like it looking clean, as clean as possible. But other artists don't mind as much if it starts to, over time, get a little scuffed up, colored, discolored. The issue with that is your colors are not looking accurately on the palette, and that's why it's important that if you can, you keep that palette looking new and fresh. So this palette cleaner works directly to get these stains out that water and soap don't. So I'm just going to kind of show you real quick on this palette that I set up earlier. Again, this is an alizarin crimson, so that's a very staining pigment. And you just apply with a soft cloth the gel. Yeah. And hopefully you can see what I'm seeing, which is that color coming up. And I bet you when I pull up this cloth, you can see the pigment has made its way from the palette onto the cloth. Now, this palette over here, so this is a porcelain ceramic palette. Now, the paints on this palette have been here for probably about a decade. And what I did was I wanted to experiment, so I took some of the Turner palette cleaner, took a brush in, put some down. These are really set-in stains. Let it set up for probably about an hour or so, and then just took a dry cloth, and you can see it wiped right clean where that was applied. Now, a little bit earlier today, I did the same thing to kind of show you. Over here, I've applied some of the palette cleaner over some of this, I think, Payne's Gray. And let's just see if we can get that to come up for you too. Yeah, you see that? Right up. So these set-in stains are no issue. You just have to let it sit for another minute or so. Now, one last thing that I've noticed just through experimenting, if you work with synthetic brushes, especially white filament, you know that when you work with certain paint colors, it can really stain the brush hairs. You know, whether it's through staining pigment or not, you know, if I start painting in blue, the bristles kind of turn blue for a while. What I did was I actually dipped this into the palette cleaner, let it sit with a dry brush, and then worked it out, and it came out looking like almost like new. Like, you know, this isn't what it's designed for, but it was just something that I noticed while experimenting. So also, in addition to a palette cleaner, it might be able to clean those synthetic brushes for you as well if those stains bother you. So really great watercolor, acrylic for, you know, any of your palettes, plastic, ceramic, or metal. Get those stains up, Turner palette cleaner.